We are live once again on another Saturday night here with JWR eRacing Saturday Night Fever. My name is Chris Murphy. Got my good friend Tim White up in the booth. Tim, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Hey, Chris, doing great. Excited for this one tonight. Looks like we got a pretty decent-sized field. Looks like we got some big names out here, so I'm looking for these guys to run green and see if we can't get a green flag pit stop here tonight. I think these guys are going to put on a good show.
I had to actually go out and buy the car to broadcast this tonight. The whole $2.95 for the Legacy Xfinity car. The first time I think we've seen these on the racetrack here tonight, so it might be a little bit different experience here. Now we're going to go ahead and get our starting lineup going as it looks like cars are starting to make their way to the grid. And as usual, we don't see a lot of drivers qualify. So a little bit of a shake-up here in the field. So we're going to go ahead and get this lineup going for you. We've got about 18 drivers here tonight, Tim. We were expecting about 20 to 25, but 18 should put on a good show.
Yeah, I think so. 18 cars is a good field to have, especially with the talent you've got out here tonight. You've got some big names, Malik Ray, John Ward came out here tonight. You got the McCullough's course, and these guys should give a good show. The last week was a pretty good sized field, but then we had a lot of cautions. Hopefully we can go green here.
All right, let's get our starting lineup underway on the pole. And the number 4, it's Derek Rowley, or is it Rowley or Raleigh? I don't know. Raleigh. We're going to know Raleigh. Raleigh. I'm not from the West Coast, the East Coast, so I wouldn't know Raleigh. All right. Outside of him, we find the number 7, Krispy Kreme Donuts. I'm already hungry. In number 7 is John Norton. Back to row number 2, starting in 14th, we find the Sunoco number 14 and Robert Mitchell. And Mason Only in the National Guard number 88. Back to row number 3, starting in 5th, we find Malik Ray in the number 9 Kellogg's. A little different look from Malik tonight. And the 59 of Casey Sprinkle. Back to row number 4, starting in 7th. There is Wyatt Gray. And to his outside, the 15 and Nathan Harper. Man, I'm going to struggle with these paint jobs and car numbers tonight, Tim.
Well, here's going to make it worse right here.
5th row starting in 9th. It's a 17 of Ethan Eckert. And the no number, black, we'll just call it black, of Josh McCullough. We get back to row number 6 starting 11th. We find Trevor Osbornoff and John Ward in the 92. Starting in the 7th row in the 13th spot, it's the 20. It's the 13 tonight on the Home Depot of the Dustin Kellen and Chase Mastretta in the no paint job numbered 5. Back to the 8th row, starting 15th, we find John Molahan and Kenneth McCullough Jr. will start in 16th in his traditional number 03. Back to row number 9, starting 17th, we find the 10 of Steve Sizemore. And how do we decide to say Bobby's name? Rackle?
I think we said Bobby Recall.
Bobby Recall. Okay, we're going to go over the Recall. That is going to end up, that is your lineup for 18 cars here tonight for 45 laps of action here at Daytona with the Legacy Xfinity O'Reilly Busch Grand National. I don't know what we're going to call it tonight, but it is a Legacy Xfinity car, I think is what they're calling it. And Derek Raleigh is going to bring us to the line. He's got Norton to his outside. 45 laps of action. We're definitely going to have at least one pit stop if we go green all the way. What do you think the fuel mileage is there, Tim?
Yeah, I think they're looking at about 30, maybe 35 laps here. So, watch for these guys to just hopefully stay double file here for a while. You'll see them drop into single file and just get to that first pit stop.
All right, and this is the Super Speedway Money Series. You can see they're on the timing and scoring top 5 with the dollar signs next to their names. You're in the top 5, you're in the money. $130 to go to the winner tonight. It's Raleigh, Norton, Mitchell, Only, Sprinkle. Your top 5 as you come to the line to start lap number 1. Green flag in the air. Raleigh's got a good jump on the bottom. Watch that outside line. I'm not really familiar with these cars, so I'm not sure if the outside line is going to be the place to be like we see with a lot of the other series here at Daytona. But here comes Mitchell on the bottom. Norton has got a run on the outside. It looks like he's got the 88 of Mason Only right there with him.
Yeah, they're kind of bouncing around on that inside lane, but it seems to be staying together because you got that third guy out there on the third line kind of slowing down that middle lane.
Malik Ray down to the bottom of the racetrack. He's able to slide up across the nose of the 7 of Norton. He's back to the outside. He is now challenging Robert Mitchell for that second spot. Malik Ray right there on the outside. Now he's coming up alongside of our leader, Raleigh. Watch for Ray to have a head of steam on the outside of the racetrack. If the outside's going to work, we're going to see it right now off of turn number 4. But it looks like Norton have a hard time anyway, staying stuck to the back bumper.
Yeah, he's trying to stay back there, but he can't really get connected there, and it's kind of holding him up. But Malik is Malik is Malik. He won last week, and he'll manage his way through. There's no doubt.
Anybody can find a way. We're 3 wide off off of turn number 2. It's Norton way up on the outside of the racetrack. He's got Mastretta there in the 5 right there behind him. Mastretta drops down to the bottom, finds a hole. That leaves Norton stuck on the outside of the racetrack all by himself. Watch him fall back through the field. He is going to lose a half a dozen spots or more as Malik Ray in the number 9, Kellogg's number 9, has found his way to the point. He has got the number 4 of Raleigh right there with him. Up on the outside, we find the 59 of Sprinkle. And the 15 of Nathan Harper also trying to make his way to the front.
And you see Malik come right back up again in front of Sprinkle coming into that tri-oval. He's going to try to control these lanes and keep the temps up, and he's going to try to dominate this to that first pit stop.
Malik drops down to the bottom of the racetrack. He sees that number 4 Raleigh with a head of steam. Malik, one of the best, have been able to see the runs coming from behind, choose the right line. He drops down to the bottom to block off that inside line. Watch him jump back to the top. He does it right there to block off Sprinkle as the outside line was starting to get some momentum going. And here comes the number 4 on the bottom of the racetrack. And Malik Ray not able to drop down and block off the line this time. That's going to put Raleigh back out in front as they make their way off of turn number 4 to come around and complete lap number 3.
Yeah, and you're going to see these lines vary like that. You're going to see the inside line get a run, and you'll see an outside. But right now, Malik's just kind of controlling everything, staying in line, keeping the car clean.
Casey Sprinkle up 4 spots right on the back bumper of the 9.
There he is controlling that inside lane again.
Yeah, we jump back on board of top of Sprinkle. I tried to jump on board as he was pushing Ray, but as you can see, Ray dropped right back down to the bottom. And look at the number 4 Raleigh just dancing all over the racetrack as Malik drops back up to the top. Sprinkle gives him a little shot in the backside, shoves him down the back straightaway.
And you can see right there when he got into the back end of that car, it started to sway back and forth. These cars aren't real stable, you know, in pack racing with this, in draft racing right here. You can push them, but you got to be careful.
We got 18 drivers on the racetrack, all still right now in the lead draft. It's still anybody's race at this point. We are going to come around to complete lap number 4. Ray and Raleigh side by side. Sprinkle right there behind him. That's Robbie Mitchell down there in the 14 on the bottom of the racetrack. The 5 of Mastretta. An unusual looking paint job for Mastretta. He just looks like he threw something on at the last minute and just jumped in here.
Yeah, he's usually that Budweiser number 8. So yeah, I can see where he's at. I had to do that when I had to buy this car. I didn't have a paint for it, so I just had to slap something on through iRacing.
So one driver we haven't talked about yet is Ethan Eckert back here in the number 17, traditionally in the number 12, except for when he changes cars with Nathan Harper like he did last week. But Eckert right back here, back here in 11. Yeah, they threw a little wrinkle at us last week. These guys like to goof around a lot. If you're not familiar with the money racing scene, these guys, you know, we talk about it just about every single week, but these guys are on here every single night racing with each other 2-3 times a night. They know what they're doing. They all know what they're going to do out there, but this is a little bit different car than we're used to.
Yeah, you're looking at probably the best of the best on the platform right here, and these guys can drive any of these cars. It's, you know, they make adjustments, and you can see that these guys have a good handle on this vehicle tonight.
Sprinkle got way out of line right there. He fell back to 9th after getting shoved to the outside line. Raleigh now back to the point. He's got a good shove from Mitchell. Malik on the outside, not really much help. It's a little ways back to the 15 of Harper. Harper's coming, but maybe a little bit too late. Watch him come up off of turn number 4. Harper closing on the back of the 9. Let's see if they can get a head of steam down the front straight. But there's only 3 cars on the bottom, or on the top. Everybody else down on the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, and you can see now that these guys are starting to just get single file here. They're going to ride, try to get to that first pit stop. And, you know, the guys in the back are just kind of waiting for calamity to happen, but there's not a whole lot of action up front. They're just going to settle in and run these laps out till they get to the pit stop.
Yeah, we thought the same thing last week, and then all of a sudden all hell broke loose. But we're going to see. I don't know what the fuel mileage is. I'm guessing you probably want to get to at least halfway. It's definitely going to be a one-stop, maybe 25 laps, I'm thinking, at the most. But
yeah, I think this
wrong.
is a one-stop race. Yeah, and just like you said, last week they started popping out 3-4 wide, but this is Daytona. There's a little bit less room. They don't want to get too frisky early. Remember, there's no fast repair here tonight, so they got to take care. They got to be a little patient here in the beginning.
So Raleigh down there in the number 44, the Skull Bandit. He should have a Skull Bandit number 4. He should have 33 on the door. Then it would. Make me think of old Harry Gant, but right there, a good-looking number 4 right there. So he actually took a little time. Yeah, took some time and got his legacy car painted before the night. Or most of the other guys just didn't.
Looks pretty sharp out there. I love that old school Bandit.
My guess is he probably just went on trading paints and found it and stuck a 4 on it.
Oh, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yep.
But we're still 1-2 single file up front. Raleigh, Mitchell, Harper only now trying to find a way. He's up on the top of the racetrack, but no help out there. Pretty much by himself. So it looks like Norton trying to get to the back bumper of the 88, but not able to get there. As we come across the line, we've got we're going to start lap number 10.
Yeah, these cars don't side draft real well. So, you know, these guys that are sitting out there on the top lane, 2 cars up there, they're not really going to make any move forward in this arrangement.
That's a man. That drone is hauling to be able to keep up with these guys down the back straightaway here. All right, drone shot. So everybody down on the bottom of the racetrack. Only it looks like the 7 of Norton, and who is that right behind him? That looks like to be the 89 of Osmernoth.
Yep, Trevor Osmernoth.
Yeah, so Trevor Osmernoth and Norton, and Osmernoth's going to abandon Norton on the outside. Watch that 7 car just go backwards. He's got about 14 cars down on the bottom of the racetrack, and he's probably going to end up about 15th unless he can find a hole. There's a hole right there behind the 89.
They're letting one open. They're leaving one open, but it doesn't look like he's going to take it.
Doesn't look like he's going to get there in time. It looks like the 15 of Harper's going to close the door. Let's see if he can find a spot behind him
right here.
There, he's going to be able to slide down in front of Malik Ray. All right, we're single file on the bottom of the racetrack. This is not something we normally see on these Saturday nights. I'm telling you that. It looks like
I kind of thought with this. Sorry, Chris. I kind of thought with this 45 lap race, 75% fuel. I kind of figured that they were just going to figure out the race, kind of settle in a little bit, and just try to get a green flag stop.
Well, that's a terrible camera.
And separate the field a little bit.
Man, if that's what it looks like sitting in the grandstands of Daytona, I think I'll just stay home and watch it on television. That's a long way to look across the racetrack.
That's right about where I was sitting right there when I went to the Coke 0400 a couple of years ago. Right there. That's pretty much the seat I was in.
We are single file, 18 cars on the bottom of the racetrack, all still nose to tail in the lead draft. 10 laps down, 35 to go here for JWR iRacing Saturday Night Fever. We are in the Legacy Xfinity cars here at Daytona. My name is Chris Murphy here with my good buddy Tim White, bringing you all the action. Don't forget, we got more racing coming your way. This is the last one for tonight, fortunately. When this is over, I've been on it for about 4 hours. But Tuesday night, we got the Western Racing League Truck Series coming your way for their final race at New Hampshire, final race of the Chase, and the Chase will start after that, so that should be a fun one. Don't forget to miss that one. Was what I was going to say. You don't want to miss that one. Wow.
No, you don't want to miss that one. You know, those short track races are always real fun.
All right, still everybody nose to tail. Nobody really jumping out of line. Everybody's saving fuel here. It looks like right now, Raleigh, Mitchell only, Osmernoth, Harper. That's your top 5. Then we get a little ways back to John Norton in 7th. Matter of fact, let's just, if we don't have a chance for a commercial, let me just play with one of our new graphics right here. Your current top 5, right there. It shows you Derek Raleigh, Robbie Mitchell, Mason only, Trevor Osmernoth, Nathan Harper. That is your current top 5 right now on the racetrack.
There's all your money, man, right there.
That is the 5 in the money. That's what I should do for this. I should make that the money graphic. Good idea.
Yeah, that'd be yes, sir.
Put little dollar signs and everything on top of it. All right. Cross the line. We are on lap 13, 12 down, 33 to go. This is not something we're used to seeing on these super speedway Saturday nights here, Tim. Everybody being patient. I mean, we got guys in this.
We're going to get to see some green flag stops here, and let's see how good these guys are. Just you got to make sure when you make a stop, you better make a stop with someone. If you get stuck in there by yourself, you're in big trouble.
We jump on the roof cam here. Malik Ray's back here in 7th.
Just settling in, just driving right there.
Everybody just settling in. This is like, you know, there's some guys in this field. I'm not going to throw out any names that we normally see on a night that have zero patience at all to run along in line. All they want to do is get to the front. So for these guys to settle in here, 18 deep, single file, run around the bottom of the racetrack. I want to get to that fuel stop, whether it's under green or under caution, because I think all hell's going to break loose after that.
Yeah, let's not fool ourselves here. You know, they probably got another, I'd say 15 to 17 more laps before they really have to pit. You might see some of these guys try to get a little further ahead before they hit the pit stop.
down that long back straightaway to Daytona. Now I have been to Daytona when I was like, Jesus, I don't know, probably like 13 or 14 years old. We took the tour, but there was no race there. It was like it was right after the track was built. That's how old I am.
Oh wow, wow! I didn't realize you were a carpenter with Jesus. I'm sorry.
Robbie Mitchell's found his way to the point. So we got a little bit of a shake up front as we were goofing off. Mitchell now to the point. Raleigh's going to drop back behind. So I'm guessing just a little following, kind of swapping some positions to cool some engines down as Mitchell's now out in front. He's going to lead a few laps. Only's now made his way to second. Our biggest mover of the race right now is Osmernoff here in the 89. He's up 7 spots after starting 11th. Now running up into 4th. He's got himself into the money spot up into 4th right now. But right now it's Mitchell that's going to get up in the Sunoco number 14. He's going to lead a few laps.
And you're absolutely right. They're just kind of cycling back and forth, keeping the temps up. They just kind of want to ride. They want to get to that pit stop right now.
And we got Devin Ray up in the chat. Devin, I really appreciate you. I know you'd rather be here racing, but when you can't be here, thank you for jumping on the stream and participating up there. Really appreciate it. All right.
Yeah, thank you, Devin.
15 laps down. We are a third of the way through this. We got 30 laps left to go. Is my math correct? Yeah, 15, 30. Yeah, right. It's a third of the way through the race here. 15 down, 30 to go. Mitchell out in front of this thing. Let's take a look at our lap leaders. It's going to be a pretty boring list here. Raleigh's led 8, Mitchell 4. Malik Ray got up there and led 4 early until he slid back to the middle of the pack. We find Ray back here in about 8 spots. Let's take a look back here at the 92 of John Ward. Another driver here with a kind of an unusual paint job for us to recognize. The Monster Energy number 92. John Ward back here in 14th right now. We're going to see him. I guarantee you we're going to see John up front before this thing's over with.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. He's usually running a Dega Pro's paint, but again, he's probably just like everybody else. Had to buy the car, so he had to paint it. But yep, you're going to see him up front, I think. He's just kind of biding his time, hanging back. He's got friendlies out there with him he can pit with, so he knows that he can kind of hang back and be part of that field separation after the pit stops.
All right, I'm watching our... Oh, we got the Happy Birthday Travis thing going on again. Yeah, we're not going to fall for that one again. This week.
Nobody gets any more birthday wishes from me.
It's supposed to be Trevor.
On the air.
Yeah, let's see. I'm looking up at the chat trying to figure out. It looks like I see Trevor saying something about 6 or 7. I'm guessing that's pit stop. I'm trying to see if anybody gives away when they're going to pit right now. They're just kind of. I'm watching. I got the chat up here. They're just casually talking back and forth. Here's let's see here. What we got here? Let's see. Here's Trevor.
Hell no, they're capping. They've been saying this for like 6 months. Happy birthday to me.
Yeah. So that little thing's been going on for about 6 months now about Trevor's birthday. So we fell for it last week. We're not going to fall for it this week.
Nope, not this time.
All right, appreciate you being up here in the channel. If it's your first time with us, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. You want to know when we go live, give us a like, jump in the comments. Also, if you want to support the channel, there is the option for a super chat, $2 and $5. Help us build the channel up, bring bigger and better things. I'd like to upgrade this computer rig and be able to maybe broadcast in 4K instead of 2K. Is that rain? What was that? That looked kind of weird. That was just like the posts in the background. They looked like it was raining on the screen for a second.
No, I didn't see anything in the forecast for rain today, Chris.
All right, look at Derek Raleigh. Takes a look to peek to the outside for just a moment. Goes back down to the bottom. But you know what? I would bet you if Derek faded to the outside, I bet Mason would go up there with him, and then he could just leave him hanging. That'd be what I'd do if I was sitting right there behind the 88 right now. As Mason takes a little peek to the inside of the racetrack, but really nowhere to go. The yellow line's going to stop him from going any further than that.
Yeah, well, now just as I was about to say it, we've got a few cars that are popping out into that second line. And I kind of told you that maybe closer to the pit window, these guys would start trying to advance spots.
And here comes John Ward up on the outside. He's got help from the 59 as Sprinkle. Doesn't look like they're gaining. They've gained up a few spots right now. They're going to get their way around the outside of Malik Ray. They're now up. John Ward now on the outside of Horton. Here he comes up on the outside of the 15 of Harper. So that two-car tandem up on top of the racetrack is making some hay. They're going to the front. As a matter of fact, look at that head of steam down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. Well, John
like
Ward and Sprinkle all the way to the front.
Something.
Looks like everybody on the bottom of the racetrack saving fuel, and John Ward says, hey, man, let's go to the front. And him and Sprinkle just teamed up.
There they go.
We got a new leader. It's the 92 of John Ward. And here comes everybody getting a little shake and bacon going on now, because here comes only down the bottom. Osmarth on the outside now. Osmarth trying to get a run, but he doesn't have a lot of help. Here comes Norton behind him in the 7, but he's a little too far back to get up there, and is going to leave Osmarth kind of hanging out there. But John Ward and Casey Sprinkle, what a run. John was about 13th or 14th when they started that run, and it only took about a lap, and they were there.
Yeah, they were shot out of a cannon. I don't know where that came from, but those two cars just kind of dominated that outside line by themselves.
Well, it's a good time to get up there and kind of try some things out, see what you can do with these cars. I know some of these guys may be familiar with these, but they don't run them very often. And so you're going to get out there and do some testing and see what you can do with them. Here comes Osmarth by himself. Going to try to get around Mitchell. He's actually getting a little momentum, but I think he's going to head into a kind of a wall of air as he makes his way into turn number 3. But look at that, by himself, he's actually making his way around the outside of Sprinkle. So unless that bottom line's kind of backing out and saving fuel at this point, that's really surprising, because here comes Osmarth going to look to the inside of Ward. No, he thinks the better of it. Ward drops down to block it off, and they're single file. And here comes Dustin Cohen up on the outside of the racetrack by himself.
Yeah, and I think what you're seeing there is, Ward was running, back 12, 13, 14, somewhere for the first 10 laps, just kind of saving.
So here's,
and that's when he knew, hey, I've got the fuel, let's go.
Well, here's Ethan giving some advice to everybody in front of him.
Burn that gas, Trev. Burn it.
Yeah. So that's exactly what we're talking about. Some of these guys saving fuel, right? And you're going to see some of these guys charging up to the front. So I think what you're seeing, these guys kind of towards the back. I think we're going to see Accurate, Harper, and Malik, and all those guys pit here together at some point. I'm still watching right now. Still watching to see if anybody says anything about coming in pitting. Here's Here's Norton talking to Cohen.
13, I'll stay with you.
So Norton saying, hey, man, I'm going to stay with you, Dustin. Let's go to the front of this thing.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a pit stop here in the next 3 laps.
So Trevor Osborne found his way to the point. Right behind him is the 59 of Sprinkle, Cohen, and Norton up on the outside of the racetrack. Down on the bottom right there is Bobby Mitchell. There he's the 3rd car in line. So we're getting too wide. We ran single file. I don't know. We ran single file for what, probably 13 or 14 laps. I mean, for this group of guys, that is pretty rare to run single file that long. But it's been pretty clean and green so far. We're getting closing up on the halfway point. Down to the bottom goes Cohen and Norton. They're going to drop down.
Ward gets hung out.
John Ward, where is he at on the speedway? John Ward up on the racetrack all by himself. He is going backwards. There is no hold down on the bottom unless somebody opens one up for him.
He got hung out like a blanket to dry. And they're not letting him in.
Oh, there's a hole right there. Malik's going to say, there you go, John.
Malik lets him in.
I think, it looked like Malik just really opened up the hole right there.
How about that?
And again, for these guys run these super speedways so often, just even, if that had been me, I wouldn't even know he was opening the hole up for it. If he didn't tell me, I'd have probably just stayed on the outside like a moron. But John saw the Malik back off right there and let him in. I mean, there was nothing in chat that I could see. So
it was just unspoken courtesy.
So Ward's able to fall down the ninth. Dustin Cohen out in front in the number 13. He usually runs the number 20 on that Home Depot. He is going to lead us a few laps. We're halfway through this thing. 23 down, 22 to go as we're on lap 24 across the line. We'll start lap 25.
Yeah, I think you're going to see some pit stops here, either this lap or the lap after.
All right. Stay in line, work together. That's what we're talking about. There's no way there is absolutely no way they can save fuel and go to the end. Somebody's going to have to pit.
No,
at one point.
There's no way.
Let's see, what's Ethan saying here? So Ethan Eckert giving some advice to everybody.
Sure you don't want to get in other lines to work against each other?
All right, I don't know what that was. My transcript said the 3-1 again, other line towards against each other. I'm not sure what that was, but that's kind of what it sounded like too. So
I think what he might have been saying is he wants these guys to start fighting it so that they burn fuel.
So let's make a good point. Yeah, this radio replay app that we have to be able to capture the in-game audio and play it back to you is a great app, but unfortunately some guys just don't have the best quality of microphones. It doesn't come across real clear, but when it does, man, this thing, it works really, really well. All right, we're back to single file action, Tim. Back down on the bottom of the racetrack. I mean, really at this point, is there any reason to save fuel? Everybody's going to have to pit. They've just got to come. You got to come together as a group. You don't want to get left hung out. We've seen that happen to guys too many times. You're left out on the racetrack by yourself, and then it's just pretty much the end of your night.
Yeah, you're right, and you got to make sure you've got some friends with you that are going to pit. I'm sure a lot of these guys are talking to each other. You know, hey, we've got to pit together. We got to stay in this pack. I think the guys from probably 6th or 7th back are just watching what the guys in front are going to do if they don't have communication.
Yeah, watch from about 9. Oh, we're getting together.
We got trouble.
Mitchell into the outside wall on the 14. We've got caution. There goes our fuel mileage game. The 88 of Mason Only also involved in this one. Caution on the speedway for the first time. It looked like everybody was pretty much just settled in. You can see some heavy damage on the right front right there of the 14.
Yeah, anybody's game now.
See if we can see what happened here. So watch about the 5th car in line right there. All right,
so a bad push.
Yeah, it's exactly what looks like it happens. It looks like trying to find a good cam right here to go. There we go. Let's back this up here just a little bit. Watch the 88. Who's the 17? The 17 is Eckert. So watch Ethan come up on the back only. Just gives him a good bump right there. Yeah, he kind of got back about a half a car length, and they just was able to charge up on the back of the 88.
He didn't hit him square. He was kind of swiping back, and when he made contact, he just turned him. And that, that's what I was saying, that these cars, you can push them, but you got to be careful. You got to be square, and so that's a plain example right there.
So let's see what happens here with Mitchell. Find a good camera angle. So watch. So as Eckert gets into the back of the 80, he just shoves him forward. He gets into the back of the 14, shoves the 14 up the racetrack. Now everybody from here on back does a really good job of not getting into this. So let's see here. All right, so caution under the speed on the racetrack. Caution under the speedway is what I started to say. Everybody coming down pit road. Osborne stays on the racetrack. Everybody else comes down to the pits. Josh McCullough also on the racetrack as well.
That's an interesting strategy.
So let's see if they come in and pit here towards the end. So let's get back to live time. Whoa, what was that? All right, so we're going to hang on that for a second. There we go, back to the live screen. You can see right now Trevor Osborne and Josh McCullough running 1-2, but they did not pit right there, and I'm not sure what the strategy is going to be. If they're going to come down and pit now, they just kind of go to the back of this field. There's no way they can make it to the end, as you know.
No, I don't think they can.
So Devin up there in the chat saying he told us it wouldn't be a green flag stop. Come on, Devin.
Well,
we were hoping for one. We don't get to see it very often in this.
We were optimistic. You're either going to get exciting racing with a lot of cautions, or you're going to get boring racing with very little cautions. Those are the two outcomes pretty much at Talladega and Daytona.
All right, so let's see what Osborne and McCullough do here. Is Josh McCullough in the number 1?
They've got to come in.
Well, yeah, I would think so.
Somehow banking on another caution, but...
Well, I mean, what's the point, really? I mean, at this point, they come in now or they come in later, and they're going to be at the back of the field because nobody else really has to come in, and top off at that point. I mean, fuel should not be an issue at this point. We ran 25 laps, and there were 18 to go, so...
Yeah, I would be coming in right now. Fuel only and get out.
All right, lights still on the pace car. We'll roll off to number 4. Let's see what Trevor and Josh McCullough do here, if they're going to dive down pit road or not. The anticipation is killing me right now. He's going to do the okie doke. He's going to stay on the racetrack. So okay. I don't know. I mean,
they're going to take the gamble.
Can you go 45 laps in these cars at Daytona with fuel?
I don't think so. Not 75%.
I mean, maybe I need to jump in a car and test drive before the race so I can. Devin Ray's up in the chat. Come on, Devin. You ran these cars enough on this racetrack. You tell us how many miles we're going to go on fuel. I think we got Aubrey Thompson up there as well in the chat with us. Appreciate it. James Waring, our race controller, and JWR eRacing from JW Paints. JW Paints with a nice new graphic. A little graphic up in the top right corner this week. A nice new logo that James sent to us earlier.
Yeah, he does a good job with all that stuff. He paints a lot of my cars. Does a great job on them. Really like the paint jobs that they give.
All right, so top 5 right now in the money is Trevor Arvanoff. As you can see, the dollar signs up on the scoring timing board tower, whatever you want to call it. Osborne, McCullough, Sprinkle, Cohen, Wyatt Gray, our PGR 500 winner earlier this year, up into the top 5. Right there behind him, we find the 92 Ward. Started towards the back of this. He made his way to the front, fell back to the back. He's back up to 5th. As a matter of fact, we got this really cool little graphic that can show his run through the field. I mean, look at that right there. Way back there in about 13th or 14th, and then just boom, we're going to go to the front. So from 14th, in about 3 laps from 14th to 1st. And
that is John Ward's MO right there. You run in the back for a good while and then get yourself out front when the race is on the line.
So currently up 6 spots. All right, caution number 1. We're going to go back to green flag racing with about 16 laps, or 16 to go. All right, Tim, give me your pick. Who's going to win this thing?
Well, you know what? I like John Ward. I like that number 92. He's taught me a lot. Good dude. I think I'm going to hang it on Johnny Ward tonight.
All right, keep your eye on the 92. That is Tim's pick. My pick is going to be a wild card. I'm going to go with Dustin Cohen. You don't see Dustin finishing the money too much, but I think he is going to find a way to the front of this tonight. He's in a good position right now. I'm going to go for the long shot tonight, and I'm going to pick Dustin. But right now, up on the outside, it's Osmeroth. Osmeroth with a good jump on the outside. He's going to clear about 3 or 4 car lanes back to Sprinkle and Josh McCullough. But they're going to reel him in a hurry. Here comes McCullough back on the bottom of the racetrack, and Sprinkle right there on the back bumper of the 89.
And back up and down the 89 right there. Osmeroth just trying to control these lanes. He's getting a good run on the inside, though, here.
Got 8 cars, kind of broke away here a little bit. The rest of the field's only about 5 car lengths back. They'll reel him in down the back straightaway into turn number 3, side by side up front right now. Wyatt Gray finds his way to the lead. 3 wide into turn number 3. Down on the bottom of the number 1, it's McCullough down on the bottom. Osmeroth in the middle. That's Malik Ray in the number 9 on the outside. There's Dustin Cohen right there. But right now, Wyatt Gray has found his way to the point.
Yeah, these boys have decided, let's go. Time to put on a show. Let's get it 3 wide.
Cohen's going to go across the
grass.
He's going to be able to rejoin. Keep an eye on Cohen. He's going to get back up on the racetrack, but he is going to lose this draft. There's my pick for the win. He is going to fall off of the lead draft right now. He's got Mitchell back there. We're going to caution for the second time. It looks like the 5 of Mastretta. Heavy damage on the front of the 5. And I think that all started something going with Cohen. And once he got...
Kenny McCulloch's back there, too.
So heavy damage on the front of the 5 of Mastretta. Let's take a look at the 03 of McCullough.
Wonder what the heck
That's a good look.
there.
I like that paint job on it. All right, let's take a look here. Go back to this caution flag and see what happened. I think... Oh, there it is right there up front. So let's go up here and look. It looks like that was McCullough on the bottom of the racetrack. So let's find Mastretta here and get a good camera angle.
I think he might have got a bad push and it just shoved him down into Kenny.
So let's see. So up on the outside, he's got... I got to find a better camera angle for this here. Let's see here. There we go.
There you go.
All right, Malik Ray right there behind him.
Oh.
You know, it looks to me... I'm going to call... I'm going to call it this way. All right, you call it how you see it, and then I'm going to tell you how I see it.
All right, so right here, it looks like he gets... he just comes down the track. He just came right down the track.
That's what I was watching Josh's car. Josh was right down on the yellow line, and it just looked like Mastretta just kind of drifted down across
that
the
angle.
nose.
I didn't see any contact come from the car behind.
I mean,
him,
watch.
So
I've got to rewind it here one more time. It's not getting where I want it to be. I mean, watch the one car on the bottom of the racetrack. No push from behind from Malik Ray. McCullough's right. I mean, McCullough's down the yellow line. As a matter of fact, he moves down a little bit more.
He's glued. Yeah, that's the 5.
And the 5 of Mastretta just keeps coming down the racetrack.
I didn't see any contact from the 9 right there, so from that angle anyway.
Well, that's the way I'm going to call it. I don't know how anybody else is going to see it out there, but it looks to me like, you know, I mean, we don't. I mean, it's not our job to place blame and give penalties and stuff like that. But we are going to call it how we see it right there, and it just looks like Mastretta just came down the racetrack, and here comes a few drivers going to make their way down pit road. Wyatt Gray is going to come down pit road. He did pit earlier. Sprinkle also going to pit. Osmeroth's finally going to come down and pit. Also, Dustin Cohen in the 13. So that caution was lucky charm there for Cohen because he had lost the draft, and he is going to be able to get back on the back of the draft, on the back of the draft here. So,
and not only that, it allowed the guys that stayed out last time to come in and get their fuel.
All right, so we got a few people up there in the YouTube chat. Let us know who you think is going to win this race. Tim's made his pick. Tim picking 92 of John Ward to come home with a victory here tonight. I went with a wild card. I'm going to go with Dustin Cohen to come home with a victory. see if he can get himself into the money. We don't see Dustin up there a lot, so let's see if he can come home with some money tonight. Up front, though, watch Wyatt Gray. Wyatt's good here at Daytona. McCullough. I mean, all these guys up here in this front of this field right now. Lots of, I mean, thousands, millions, probably millions of laps of experience on these super speedways. I don't think that's really even exaggerating at this point.
Yeah, if you go through the whole field, I mean, you go all the way back to 17th. Every single driver in there's capable of getting to the front and winning this race. There's the talent's off the chart, and these guys are top shelf.
All right, so looking at race control, it looks like race control saw the incident the same way we did, Tim. They are calling that on Chase. And it looks like Chase Mastretta is out of this race. He has taken the car home for the night. We started with 18. We're down to 17. Malik Gray still down on pit road. Malik must have taken a little damage. And look at the back bumper
he's got
on the
some left rear damage right there.
So I did
looks
not
like he took a nice shot there.
Did not see that contact. We were too busy looking at the contact up in front. So Malik down here on pit road. I'm watching the lead pack cars come around. They're right now making their way off of 3 and 4. So I would assume Malik's going to be able to make it off of pit road before he goes down a lap. So our Columbus, Ohio driver in the number 20, Wyatt Gray, leads us to the point. And there goes, it looks like Robbie Mitchell and Malik getting off pit road. Malik not able to get full repairs. You can still see some damage on that left rear quarter, though.
Yeah, that car in the back is... it's in some rough shape right there.
All right, lights are out on the pace car. We're going to go around one more time. So a couple drivers there, Ray and Mitchell Jr., both going to find their way, try to catch up to the back of the field as they make their way off of turn number 2 as our leaders roll into 1.
So we're going to have 10 to go here, Chris. You're going to start seeing these guys going 3 wide, getting after it now.
Oh, yeah.
They've rode for long enough now. They're going to really start dicing it up.
There is no reason to save anything at this point. And it's still any one of these 17 cars can still win this race. Take a look here at Mitchell and Malik Gray.
Any one of them. Yep, any one of them.
And I think I see damage on the right front of Malik's car as well. So, and still see damage on the right front of Mitchell's car also. So they're going to struggle to hang on to the lead draft here, but they are making their way around as our leaders are making their way down the back straightaway. I see those 2 cars trying to catch the field. They're making their way down on turn number 1. So they will catch this field before we go back to green flag racing, and we'll have 17 cars fighting it out for the lead with about 11 laps left to go.
I'd love to see 3 green or 10 green ones right here, 3 wide all the way around. See a nice finish.
All right, so you might have to explain to our listeners what John Ward is saying here to Trevor.
Sorry, Trev, I didn't know you couldn't bump with these things.
Oh, okay.
Gave you a shot and you about lost it.
All right, so it's bump. My translation was buff. I was trying to figure out what buff was. So there's John Ward apologizing to Trevor. So again, you can see some of these guys with a lot of experience out here on these super speedways just talking about how challenging it is bumping with these cars, because we've already seen that a couple times. Just doesn't even really take much of an off-center push, and you're getting a guy sideways in front of you.
Yeah, and that's what I said at the outset. Is they're dicey cars, and you got to be careful when you're pushing.
All right. Pace car is going to pull in here. We're going to go green flag this time across the line. Wyatt Gray, Josh McCullough, Ethan Eckert. That is your top 3. Then it's Mullahan, Ward back there in 5th. Gray with a good jump into turn number 1. But here comes that outside line. McCullough's got a good shove from the 16 of Mullahan. Let's see if that outside line can get it going. Everybody jumping back down to the bottom. Only Harper, Mullahan, and McCullough on the outside. And there goes Wyatt Gray on the bottom.
And they're trying to side draft to stay up here with these guys. Now they're getting a little help in behind. So you're probably going to see 2 wide now here for the duration.
Derek Raleigh in the 4, drifted up, kind of get a little side contact there with Harper. We're going to stay clean and green here, 2 by 2 for about the first 14 cars right now, 7 rows back. Wyatt Ray on the bottom. Wyatt Gray on the bottom. Ethan Eckert giving him a shove. We're 3 wide. Look at Kenneth McCullough Jr. way up on the outside with Casey Sprinkle. He's trying to get to the front.
Yep, and here comes that 3rd lane, and these guys, we got somebody moving up in front.
That was Harper. Harper jumped in that 3rd line.
That was late, boy.
Able to get up there. He did take a late jump up there. Camera angle changed on us, and there goes McCullough's going to jump up there as well. We're 3 wide across the line into turn number 1. Gray on the bottom, Eckert in the middle, Josh McCullough up on the outside. And the gloves are off, man. We are going for it now. Come off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Here comes Eckert in the 17. Watch that outside line. Can McCullough get some help from Harper? Kenneth McCullough moves down to the middle.
It's going to be a heavyweight fight now all the way to the end. We've only got 8 laps coming up. It's going to be a heavyweight duke out here, Chris.
Where does Wyatt Gray? He's in the middle of the racetrack. Here comes John Ward down to the bottom. I thought Gray might try to block it off, but did not have time. And we currently have, it looks like 15 cars in this lead draft. There goes Ward
and
down.
Two are off. John Ward gets turned.
Ward down across the grass. I don't think he took a lot of damage, but it also looked like the 4 of Riley. As Riley is stopped in the grass, we're still staying green. Ward was able to get back on the racetrack.
Oh.
But green flag still out, so he is now way behind the field here. Let's see if we can...
That's a tough break right there.
I'm going to see if I can see what happened real quick. I don't want to miss anything up front, but just keep a close eye on it. And it's just exactly what it was. Riley just gets in the back of John, and away they go.
So I think what that is right there, Chris, is he locked bumpers with John Ward's car. You can't do that with these cars.
Exactly,
you start locking, they're both just going to turn.
All right, we've got, what is this? It looks like 13 cars now in this lead pack, and they are all over top of each other. It's 2 wide, 3 wide. Cohen drifts up. McCullough on the outside of the racetrack. He's got Nathan Harper right there with him. Can they get going, make that 3 wide on the outside? Here comes Wyatt. Great contact from
they got contact, and it's not over for Ward yet.
Only drifted up the racetrack.
It's not over for Ward yet.
John Ward is going to be able to get this caution flag, catch back up to the field. It looked like, from what I saw, it looked like Mason only on the bottom of the racetrack might have got loose on the apron, came up into the traffic. We're going to take a quick look here and see what happened. But that was the first thing that I saw. So watch the, let's rewind it here.
Oh, yeah.
So the 16 of Mullihan on the outside, watch.
Looks like it just,
did he get a shot from
washes
behind?
up.
Well,
I think
did he get a shot
the
from
inside,
behind?
who's that, Eckert? I think he ends up washing up here.
Let's just find a good angle here. Let's, this chase cam seems to work pretty good. Okay, so watch the 88 of only. He's got Osmoroth right behind him. Osmoroth gives him a little bit of a bump. And then...
right here, only just washes up.
Cohen, no, watch the net code. Watch the supposed contact between the 13 and the 88. Watch the 13 come down just a little bit right there. That was the contact that turned only up the racetrack into the 16, and then from right there, just everybody's into this one here. The 10's involved in it right there as well. So it looked like only was kind of wiggling around right there, but unfortunately, we are under caution now for the. I got a counter on it for third time. That's the reason I put the counter on the tower, so I can remember what caution we're under.
Yep, caution number 3 this time, Chris. Caution number 3.
Caution number. I told you, I put it right there for you.
I just now noticed it.
Let's take a look at our lap leaders. Well,
I'm watching all the exciting racing.
Pay attention. Over half our field has led a lap here tonight. Mitchell led 8. Riley's led 8. Wyatt Gray got up and led 7. Malik Ray led 5 early. Cohen led 5. Osmoroth, Ward, and Eckert also got up around and led at least a lap. Take a look at our biggest gainers so far. Mullihan up 12. Cohen up 8. McCullough 7. How do we say Bobby's name again? Rackle?
Rackle.
All right. Now look, I'm not making fun of people's names. I'm making fun of my inability to say them. That's what it is.
Is he in the chat? Pull him up and ask him.
No, I'm not going to do. No, not in the middle of the broadcast. Not there. What these guys are going to say. You're going to get us thrown off the service.
One question interview.
What the hell's your name, Bobby? What are we supposed to say?
How do you say your last name?
All right.
Good luck.
You know what? I see we got Aubrey, Devin. I see a bunch of guys up in the chat. No, I asked earlier. Nobody's making their pick to win. We should start making bets on it, I guess, at this point.
Well, we could.
So let's see here. I'm looking at the chat. Let's see. I don't see anything really all that interesting. Well, there's a lot of stuff interesting, but not everything I want to play. All right. So Wyatt Gray still out in front of this thing. Eckert right there with him. John Mullihan in the 3rd spot. So John with a big run. And it looks like I think I saw Devin earlier and Aubrey both rooting for John. So let's. I'm not familiar with John, but you told me he's been around for quite a while in the super speedway stuff, but just now kind of getting back into it.
Yeah, man. He was one of the OGs. He used to run with these guys all the time, and then he kind of went away for a bit, and here he is, and currently in a podium spot. So let's see if he can hang on to it.
Looks like we got a bunch of drivers that came down pit road. We got Mason only, Malik Ray down there trying to get some more repairs done on the 8 or on the 9.
Yeah, Malik had a lot of damage. He still does.
Nathan Harper. Is Nathan out of this? So Nathan may be out of this race. Looks like he has taken the number 15 home for the night. All right, I think this is going to come down to one of these maybe top 6 or 7 cars that are on the racetrack right now. So our Columbus, Ohio driver, Wyatt Gray, out in front. Right there behind him, out of Chicago, is Ethan Eckert. John Mullahan, cross lanes, West Virginia. In the 3rd spot, Dustin Cohen in the number 13 Home Depot car. That's just an odd number on the Home Depot car. I'm sorry. Casey Sprinkle in the 59 up into 5th right now. There's John Norton, started in 2nd, currently back in 6th. John Ward in the 92 started back in the field. Currently up into 7th out of Valdosta, Georgia. Bobby Recall there up into 8th spot in the number 888. There we find Robbie Mitchell from Orlando, Florida, down to your neck of the woods there. Well, a little further north, but Orlando, Florida driver.
Not far.
Robbie Mitchell. Steve Sizemore now in the number 10, running 10th. Good spot for the number 10 car. Osborne Roth running the number 89. He is from the south side of Augusta, Georgia. Trevor's always fun to talk to, so let's see if we get him on the podium tonight. Savannah, Georgia, Josh McCullough. Mason Only, back here, Vacaville, California. I think I've been to Vacaville somewhere.
I have not. I've been to California, just not Vacaville.
Another Georgia driver, Kenneth McCullough.
I've been to
Jr.
Savannah, Georgia.
I don't know where's Greer. Anybody know where Greer is?
I do not.
So Malik Ray down there in 15th. Harper has parked us. So we got 15 cars left on the racetrack out of the 18 that started. We're going to have 4 to go. So Casey Sprinkle. So Casey Sprinkle's in chat saying, come on, Casey Sprinkle.
Narcissist.
Is there 2 different Casey Sprinkles?
I couldn't imagine so. That's not a common name.
What, Sprinkle? Or
Casey Sprinkle.
Oh, I know some Caseys.
I know a lot of Caseys.
All right. We're going to go
Just
green
don't
this
know
time
any
by Tim.
sprinkles.
We're going to have 4 laps to go. We've had 3 caution flags after that really long first green flag run. All we need is 4 green flag laps right here. Actually, we just need 3 to get to the white flag.
Going to be a dogfight.
Gray, Eckert, Cohen, Mullahan, Sprinkle. That's your top 5. And we're going to come to the line. Green flag will fly once again here at Daytona. 4 laps to go. Green flag in the air. Wyatt Gray up on the outside. Ethan Eckert down on the bottom. Mullahan and Cohen right there behind him. Cohen loses grip there to the 20. And he is going to fall back. That's going to let Wyatt Gray move down to the bottom and pick up the 17 at Casey Sprinkle. So Dustin Cohen, horrible start there. That's going to cost him. He is going to go back to about 10th or 12th before this thing's over with. But right now, up front, it's single file.
The entire field just kind of spread out there on the restart. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, that outside line just really didn't get going very well. Everybody down to the bottom of the racetrack right now. Cohen able to find a spot down there in about 9th, down in front of the 03 of McCullough. But up front, it is Wyatt Gray, Ethan Eckert, John Mullahan. That's your top 3. Then it's Casey Sprinkle, John Ward. Tim's picked to win. John Ward right there in 5th. Do not count John Ward out of this race from wherever he's out on the racetrack. Right now, he's got the 59 Sprinkle, and Sprinkle's got some damage on that right front.
Yeah, he does have a little bit of damage, but I don't think it's hurting him a whole lot. Looks like he's staying right on the bumper of the car in front of him, so I think he's good.
Cross the line,
on the inside
3 laps
now.
up to go. Looks like Dustin Cohen's going to pull in a call tonight. He pulls down to the pit road. Wyatt Gray still out in front. He's pretty much a sitting duck at this point. He's got Eckert, Mullahan, and Ward right there behind him. Who's going to do what? I'm looking up in the chat. I don't see anybody making a plan. Why would you make a plan in the general voice chat? I don't know. I've heard it more than once. Ward now to
Here
4th.
come those cars on the bottom.
Sprinkle down to 5th. Off of turn number 4. Going to be 2 laps left to go. Popsicle sticks in the air, as somebody likes to say. Sprinkle on the outside with Norton. Can they get a run on the outside? We saw Sprinkle get a run with Ward earlier. Mullahan blocks up to drop that, block that line.
Making a late block.
That's going to let Ward get up on the inside of the 16, but he's down there by himself. Nobody with him. Here comes Norton. Norton's going to go back down there with him. Wyatt Gray drops down to the bottom. Look at the way the 92's sucking up to the back of the 20.
Big run on the inside for Ward.
Off of turn number 2, a lap and a half left to go. As we go down the back straightaway side by side.
Oh, little door banging.
Wyatt, Ward and Mullahan getting together down the back straightaway. We're 2 by 2 for the first 8 spots right here. Gray and Eckert side by side up front. Eckert wants to get out in the front and lead this thing, but here comes Gray back down on the bottom with help from the 92 of John Ward.
And Ward just staying down there on the bottom, and they were door banging back there, and I think you're going to see a little bit more of that here on the last lap.
Cross the line, 1 lap left to go. Here comes Wyatt Gray, Ethan Eckert on the outside. Watch the 92 of John Ward. Can he get out of line right here? He's kind of stuck down on the bottom of the racetrack. They got him pinned down on the outside. Mullahan up there in 4th on the outside. 2 by 2, the whole field 2 by 2 off of turn number 2. Top 8 cars. It's going to come down to one of those drivers a little further back. We see Osmond and Kenneth McCullough Jr. But I think the winner's going to come out of this top group, as it looks like Eckert now to the point. He moves up to the top of the racetrack. He's got Mullahan right there with him. Here comes Gray back on the bottom.
Oh, and that's going to stall the inside.
Eckert blocks off that inside run. It's Ethan Eckert's race to win right now. Who's he going to go with? Here comes Mullahan on the outside. Eckert to the bottom. Watch Eckert slide up to the top of the racetrack. If that outside line gets a run, I don't think anybody's going to have anything for Eckert. We're going to come up through the trial section across the line. It's going to be Ethan Eckert bringing home the win. Wyatt Gray in 2nd. John Ward gets himself up into 3rd. Mullahan to 4th. John Norton with a good 4th place finish, as he's going to crash hard into the inside wall. But right there, Ethan Eckert with the win. He got himself out in front off of turn number 2, and then there was just really nothing anybody could do with him.
Yeah, he got himself out in front, and he hung on to it nicely. He did a great job of blocking off the lanes and controlling his way to the win.
At the white flag, it was Wyatt Gray on the bottom of the racetrack. Not by much. At the white flag, it was Wyatt with the lead. And watch as they come off of turn number 2. Ethan does a good job getting to the point off the final corner, or excuse me, off of turn number 2. And that's pretty much where he won the race at. And then really from there, nobody was really able to make a move on him.
No, he gets a good side draft right here, and that top lane just suddenly comes out of turn 3 or turn 2 here with a bunch of momentum.
And I'm looking up in the chat, I see John Ward talking about how he was just overheating right there. And right there was Ethan got to the lead, and at that point he had enough separation he could choose the top or the bottom. He drops down to the bottom right here, and then right there it is all Ethan Eckert.
Yeah, that put him in a good spot right there. There was no way they were going to run him down after that.
All right, let's take a look up at the Discord and see if anybody is there with us. I really appreciate everybody joining us here tonight. So let's find ourselves to the Discord here and see if we have anybody ready to jump in for an interview. Oh, a second here. All right, where are we at? Let me find our chat. I don't know who's a V in the chat. I'm not sure who that is.
Who?
I don't know. It's just a V. it's always challenging sometimes to find these guys in their chat here. So they let's see here. Let's bring us up. All right, is this Ethan? Who we got?
Nice job, kid.
I don't know who that is.
That
Hello?
was a good job. That's Ethan right there that's
Is
talking. Ethan, that was a nice job there at the end, getting up front and controlling that. So what were you thinking there coming in the last lap when you guys are getting that run outside?
The last lap, I was just kind of trying to keep it 2x2 with Wyatt. Me and him kind of have a mutual agreement. We didn't have any teammates up there, so we were trying to work together to the best of our ability, because me and him have been friends for a while on here. So me and him were just trying to control it up there, make sure the third never cleared, and just, yeah.
Yeah, it looked like you guys are working together there. So anybody you want to shout out to here?
Yeah, shout out to you guys broadcasting, Waring for putting this on, Harper, even though his race ended short, Wyatt for helping me out, Jeff Merck for sponsoring me, everyone that raced, everyone that watched.
All right, well, great job tonight, man, and it's good to see you back in victory lane.
Yup, thank you.
You have a good one.
All right, let's get our second place finisher up here. Wyatt, you got Chris and Tim in the booth. Are you there, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Well, white flag lap, you're leading it. What anything you could have done different there to keep Ethan? It's not Ethern, it's Ethan behind you there for that last lap.
I don't think so. He was pushing me for a while there, being pretty loyal. So I knew if I kept blocking him, he was eventually gonna have to hang me out because his engine was overheating. So I figured my play was just to get down to the bottom behind Ward there and hope he could push me with this fresh motor. But even he ended up getting a little too hot on that white flag, and we kind of stalemated there. And Ethan had the side draft on top and cleared me down.
Well, we haven't seen you a lot on the Saturday night shows. Really good to see you here with us. I know you run a lot of other super speedway stuff, but kind of tell us what else you got going on the rest of this week, or are you just kind of jumping around and finding random races here and there?
Yeah, I'm usually good for about 2 or 3 money races a week on the super speedway side, and then obviously open setup stuff. I'm normally doing some NIS Open or any of the open stuff with the Ryko Performance guys. So probably done for the week on the money side until MMS Tuesday, hopefully.
Well, going to take home a little bit of cash for your efforts tonight, man. Good run out there. Good luck at everything else you do over the rest of the weekend, and hopefully we'll see you around a little bit more often.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All right. Anybody? By the way, give you a chance. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before you get out of here, though?
Yeah, shout out James for putting these races on. We appreciate his work. Shout out you guys for broadcasting. And shout out my teammates tonight, Malik, Chase, and Trev. And shout out Ryko Performance.
All right, brother. Well, have yourself a good rest of the weekend, and we'll see you again next time.
Thank you.
All right, Tim. Looks like John doesn't want to talk to us, so we're gonna move on with our festivities here. So we're gonna take
Fair
a look.
enough.
Yeah. You know, you spend enough hours talking to me. I just probably just don't want to talk to you anymore. All right, let's take a look at our full results here. We had 18 cars started. I think we had maybe, what was it, 13 or 14 finish. Your winner, Ethan Eckert, Nightmare East. It says Nightmare Esports. Is that right? Maybe it is. I don't know.
That's correct.
I've tried to get all the team names with all these guys so many times. They just jump around like it's crazy, so I can't even keep track of it. Ethan Eckert with a win. Wyatt Gray, good finisher in second. John Ward comes home in third. John Molahan in fourth. John Norton in fifth. Casey Sprinkle there in the fifth spot. Bobby Rackle, Jesus Christ. Recall in seventh. Robbie Mitchell Jr. in the eighth. Kenneth McCullough Jr. We had the juniors back-to-back there, 8th and 9th. Trevor Osworth in 10th. Josh McCullough back in 11th. Malik Ray in the 12th spot. Mason only 13th. Dustin Cohen, my pick to win there at the end. Faded off into the pits. Finishing 14th. Steve Sizemore 15th. Nathan Harper 16th. Derek Riley in the 17th spot, our pole sitter. And as it's ironic they're the Jack Shack, because the Jack Shack kind of makes me think of a food shack. And Chase Machetta won the race to the hot dog stand, coming home in 18th, dead last tonight. So most laps led was Wyatt Gray with 14. Mullahan was the hard charger, up 11 spots. Well, that's going to do it for us for tonight, Tim. Another fantastic race here on the Super Speedway. Unfortunately, I'm going to miss the next couple of weeks, but we'll be back probably in about 3 weeks here for another JWR eRacing. But don't forget, we got more action coming your way this week, Tuesday night. It is the Western Racing League Truck Series. All right, Tim, any closing words before we get ourselves out of here tonight from Daytona?
Hey, man, just thanks for having me up in the box with you. It's always a fun time doing this with you. DRSN and their broadcasts here and doing it with these guys, watching these guys is a lot of fun. And it's a lot of fun for me to be up here. And thanks for having me up here, man.
Really appreciate it. I'm looking up in the YouTube chat. John Ward didn't want to come talk to us, but he jumps up in the chat and says, "Dang, I feel bad for not talking to you guys." So, but see, he says thanks.
You're perfectly fine, John.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get ourselves out of here. So for myself and for Tim White and everybody else here at DRSN, thank you so much for spending your evening with us. I'm Chris Murphy saying keep it smooth, keep it smart, and if you can't do that, at least keep it entertaining for the folks at home. We're gonna see you next time. Good night. All right, we're out.
Right on, brother.
And I ended the stream without doing my outro on my video.